Well, CENTCOM launching what it calls a heavy wave of strikes against payback for attempted surprise missile attacks on U.S. forces. All Iranian missiles intercepted. CENTCOM says it struck military targets, including command centers, missile and drone facilities, and surveillance sites. Let's bring in Fox News senior strategic analyst, retired four-star General Jack Keane, former vice chair of staff of the Army, now chairman of the Institute for the Study of War. General, it's always a pleasure to have you on. I want to read this Wall Street Journal quote, and then I can give you the floor. I think this is interesting. It says, quoting here, if the U.S. wants military action to be effective, CENTCOM Commander Brad Cooper has maintained the U.S. must step up its air attacks, significantly blunting Iran's missile threat to try to break the stalemate. This go big approach, which is among a series of options he has developed, would reduce the need for U.S. to use defensive munitions because Iran would have less capability to attack. Is that your assessment as well, General?
Yeah, well, that's actually an incomplete assessment from Admiral Cooper, but I understand. Here's what I think we are, Trace. Look, we went to a ceasefire on April the 7th, began negotiations on April the 8th because the Iranians were making overtures to us that they were willing to negotiate over the Straits of Hormuz. We had conducted 38 days of epic fury and roaring lion, a combined operation with the two most proven militaries in the world today, focusing on Iran. And we stopped after those 38 days with, most people think, about 14 days to complete all of the assigned military objectives. So we went into this negotiation phase, and we're in it now. We've been in it for almost 4 months. And we don't have the Straits of Hormuz open, although we thought we had an agreement, right? Just a few weeks ago, our president signed it, their president signed it, and within days of that, Iran violated it. And they've continued to violate a tentative ceasefire agreement as well, and we've been retaliating, and each time they do it, we strike back a little harder on that. The second thing we really want to achieve through this diplomatic phase is certainly some kind of agreement over their nuclear enterprise. And when you look back on it, do you think we're close to getting a deal on the Straits of Hormuz, number one? Are we getting close to a deal on a nuclear enterprise? I don't think so. I think the evidence is pretty clear. So what it remains here, and I think the Trump administration, and likely the president, is already reassessing the diplomatic strategy we're on. And do we still have a realistic option to accomplish our assigned objectives if we can't do it through diplomacy? I think we absolutely do. and what that is returning to major combat operations, combined operation, certainly with CENTCOM and with the Israelis. They're both ready and prepared to do that. And what would that look like? Well, it would be actually bigger and more comprehensive than what Epic Fury has, because we have more targets through intelligence to take care of, and we also are at full magazine depth to deal with those targets. So it would be an all-out attack on their weapon systems, drones, missiles, whatever's left of their nuclear enterprise, IRGC, their units, and also their leaders. We would go after very heavily their energy and economic targets, oil and gas infrastructure, as an example. Isolate the country, roads and rails leading to border countries, seaports and airports as well, and sort of militarily quarantine the country. And then we would open the Straits of Hormuz and make certain it stays open, and finally conduct covert operations. After this operation, I think, what I'm describing to you, and there's only a piece of it, can't get into all the details here, but it would be so comprehensive that it would likely put the regime on a path to its eventual collapse. But one of the things we should also do after the operation is over and when the straits are open is continue to press covert operations in there to undermine the regime and assist the people. I think that remains a realistic option to accomplish the assigned goals the president had at the very beginning. Remember? Strategic goals, no nuclear weapon, take Iran off the board as a predator in the region that it has been for 47 years. I don't think we're going to get there diplomatically. It's not because I favor the military operation. I'm just looking at the facts. It's almost 4 months. The straits aren't open, and we're not any closer to a nuclear deal. Let's get this over with. And we're going to have a spike in prices for sure. It'll be temporary. It'll eventually go down. And I think that would be somewhat beneficial for those who are concerned about the political concerns, and they're realistic. I understand that, dealing with midterm elections and some of the economic strain, but that would be temporary.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, just to clarify, General Keane, are you talking, when you say covert operations and you bring back Israel into the mix, how would that benefit the United States? Are you talking about Mossad? Are you talking about using Israel for covert operations along with the kinetic stuff?
Yeah, certainly. Well, I'm making the assumption, Trace, that the CIA and the Mossad work together right now to put as much pressure on the regime covertly, and also working with leadership groups of Iranians inside the country. And certainly get considerably more aggressive with a lot more leverage when you're putting maximum pressure on the regime as comprehensive as what I just described every single day, 24/7, not just a 2-hour attack that we saw last night, but this is daylight attacks, night attacks, and they're going on for a couple of weeks. A lot more pressure covertly can be applied to help break this regime apart. Can't get into the details of all of that, but just use our imagination. You can think through what our capabilities are, and we have done this in other places ourselves in other countries, and certainly the Mossad has had huge impact inside the regime through the years.
Yeah, General, great to have you on. Great insight as always. We appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.